Hi, I'm Matthew Hoelscher, founder of Parent Marriage Coaching and creator of the Emotionally Connected Couples Coaching Program. I have a 3-part series for you on pregnancy and sex. There's a lot of stuff that nobody tells you before you get married or after you get married, before you have baby. And I want to go over it with you because sex and baby creates a conflict that it's the whole point of being in a relationship, and it's the #1 stress that causes couples to come to my marital coaching practice. So I want to go over and set some expectations for you, let you know what to expect, give it to you straight without any filter or any BS so that you know what to expect. And when you know what to expect, it can help you relax and stay connected with your partner. Or if it's gotten out of control, it'll let you know that you need to find someone like me for help. So in part 1 of the series, we're going to talk about just how getting pregnant and pregnancy will affect your sex life. Okay, so the first thing you have to understand is that it's really not marriage and the ball and chain that most people are afraid of. It's the baby. They know when you get pregnant, your life changes, your sex life changes, everything changes, and nobody really knows, good or bad, how it's going to affect them or what's going to happen. So it's this giant unknown out there that you need help getting a handle on. So let me go through and show you what to expect. I mean, the first thing that both couples have to understand is that you're going to go for at least 3 months without sex, and it could be as long as a year. And I know that's a big range, but that's how much it happens, and I can't predict how the pregnancy is going to work and how you're both going to react to it and what you're looking at. But that 3 months, generally, sex is not enjoyable the last about month 7 on through pregnancy. Even if everything is good up to that point, you just get so big with the baby there, so uncomfortable that it's practically impossible to have sex. And after the baby's delivered, it can take 2 weeks to 2 months for the woman to heal to the point where that normal sexual activity can be resumed and that you've gotten that okay from your doctor. So that's why you're looking at least 3 months, and it could be a year or longer interruption in your normal sex life. So first, let's just put that out there and give it to you straight. I know it's not good news, and it's kind of like, maybe I don't want to have a baby. It's worth it. You're spending a lifetime together. You've got lots of time to catch up. But those are the basic expectations. See, the first thing you have to understand is that the woman and her body changes with every pregnancy. And I'm not trying to be a man and try to mansplain you what's going to happen to your body. I'm just sharing what I've heard through all the women that have come through my practice with their complaints, criticisms, and experiences. And I'm just trying to sum it up for you and just present it to you so that you can see what's there. And the first one is every baby is different. A woman changes into a mother, her body goes through a metamorphosis, and there is this alien inside for 9 months messing everything up between hormones, the body, shifting the organs around inside the body. And after giving birth, even though the baby is out, it takes months for her body to readjust to just being you without the baby again. The intestines shift around, the body changes. It's never going to be the same, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. It just means things are going to change, and you have to stay open to the fact that things that used to work for you before you had baby may not be the same afterwards. As a personal story, my wife had an intestinal issue, and for some reason, things I used to do before sexually, I could hit a spot inside of her that would cause her wincing pain. And I don't want to hurt my wife. So doing things that I've never done out of the ordinary, and all of a sudden seeing that look of just like pain on her face was a major turnoff, major buzzkill. And it created a lack of confidence in me because I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything that I have not done before. And at the same time, we can't see what's going on inside of her. And she's just like, it just hurts. Like, you can't do that. And I'm like, but what am I doing? And she couldn't explain it any more clearly than that. And after a lot of tests and talking to her doctor, she found out that she had an intestinal issue, and depending on what she ate, it would affect, where those organs touch each other inside of her body. And so I learned I just had to be more accommodating and more understanding, because we want every sex act to be great, but they're not. And you have to understand that 10 or 15% of the time, you're going to strike out, or you're just going to have to bunt and be like, well, that wasn't exactly the home run that I was looking for, but it's good enough and it's okay. So with every pregnancy, your woman is going to change, your body's going to change, and you're going to have to adjust to that and just be ready for change. The second major thing that people tell me is that their libido changes, and it's completely unpredictable. In fact, women with multiple pregnancies have told me that the first baby, their libido dropped. They didn't want to have sex at all. Their second baby, their libido skyrocketed, and there's no explanation for it, and there's no way to predict it. And so, depending on the woman, pregnancy can increase, decrease, or leave your libido about the same. There's no way to tell. And on the same side, men also react differently to pregnancy. Some men find their wife just incredibly attractive. They love the curves. They love the baby glow your skin gets. And they love that your body swells up and becomes more plump and curvy. It drives them wild, and it can drive their libido through the roof. Other men see a woman as pregnant and their libido falls to the floor. It drops. It's like, that's not my wife anymore. She doesn't look the same anymore. Or they're just afraid to have sex because they get this thing in their head, like they're afraid they're gonna like knock the baby out of there, or shake something loose, or hurt something. And it's like, oh, it's so fragile. I'm just gonna like not touch it and just look at it and just leave it alone. And on both sides, there can be a feeling of rejection, which creates major resentments both ways. Women can feel rejected when they want to feel cuddled and loved and desired the most. And at the same time, men can feel rejected because they're totally turned on by their wives, and their wives want nothing to do with them because of all these changes. So the libido can change both ways. And you have to understand that while you're pregnant, this is a limited period of time that you're going to have to get through, and things said and things done over this time frame do not reflect the rest of your lives. So if those resentments have built up, it doesn't mean she doesn't want to have sex with you forever, but not while she's pregnant, and probably not for a while she's breastfeeding or taking care of the baby. But eventually, as the child gets older and less stressful, the libido comes back on both sides, and you can get back together as long as you realize that you have a resentment you need to let go of and get back to the way you were before. And when you can't do that, that's when you need to come see me, because I'm very good at finding those resentments, finding where they came from, and helping you both let them go so you can get back together and get back into love. So, the next major thing that happens is what we call body shame and sex shame. After the body changes from giving birth to a baby, it doesn't look the same way it was before. If you were very fit and in shape, all of a sudden there's going to be this leftover baby belly, stretch marks, or your hips widen. You know, some women even don't feel sexy because their feet can grow half a size with each pregnancy, and their shoes don't fit anymore. And then you just don't feel good about yourself. And when you don't feel good about yourself up here in your head, it's hard to get into your body and enjoy sex. So it takes a lot of encouragement, a lot of support from your partner to get through that. Sometimes it takes some time to get in the gym, or having some alone time to kind of get your body back, or just readjusting your head that you're not in the most perfect shape anymore, because that was to get pregnant. That was to attract your partner. Mission accomplished. You know, your body is going to soften while you raise your child, and when they get older and require less of you, you'll have time to go back to the gym and get your body back a little bit later. It's okay for now. So you have to see that having that child can be a turn on or a turn off for both of you, and you have to talk about it and then find a way to work around it. Because the biggest one that extends the sexual desert is breastfeeding. When a woman breastfeeds, it's very healthy for the baby, and I totally support it. But a lot of women get their physical touch from the baby on their body, and when they get the baby off of them, the last thing they want is their husband jumping on top of them. Where their husband is trying to be patient and let them be a mother, and as soon as the baby's asleep, they're like, "Ooh, my turn, my turn, my turn, I want to go, I miss you so much." Because after giving birth, men's libido usually spikes. They usually feel like they just scored the game-winning touchdown and they want to party. And they're so attached to you, you're so beautiful giving birth to their child, that they just want to love you and eat you up. And they have a hard time empathizing with you that you're tired, that you're exhausted, that you've been up in the middle of the night taking care of the baby, that you don't feel good about your body, and that, you feel like you're just a milk machine and it's just like the last thing on your mind is having sex. One of the great equalizers is oral sex. If you can bring yourself to see that your partner still has needs and they want to get those needs met from you, for just 5 minutes of oral sex, you can get an extra 60 minutes of sleep, an extra 60 minutes cleaning up around the house, or just keep them happy and away from you so that you can have some autonomy and some peace and quiet. I know it may not sound balanced, but the women that have tried this suggestion have been very pleased with the results, and it was originally given to me by 3 women that were trying to keep their husbands happy and have children at the same time, and not feel that pressure of sex and not meeting an obligation that they agreed to in their marriage. I mean, the hard part about monogamy is that if you want to be a sole source provider for sex, there has to be some providing. And while yes, things close while you're having pregnancy and the baby, they can't stay closed forever. And eventually that has to come back. So, in the end, it's going to take a while for the two of you to understand what's going on. Things are going to change. You're going to have to remain patient. You're going to have to talk to each other. You're going to have 10-minute conversations. Watch my other video on how to have a 10-minute emotionally listening conversation. Talk about what's going on for you and your partner, and try to be empathetic and understand that each partner is in a totally different place when it comes to pregnancy, and it's going to take a while for the two of you to come together and to get through this stress together as a team, so that you can both feel happy and feel loved in your new family. So this has been part 1 on pregnancy and sex. I encourage you to check out part 2 and 3. My name is Matthew Hoelscher, founder of Parent Marriage Coaching. If you need help with any of these issues, feel free to call me or reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you over the phone and see how I could be of service to you. My name is Matthew Hoelscher, founder of Parent Marriage Coaching and creator of the Emotionally Connected Couples Coaching Program.